Imagine you've lived in the UK for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, or even 10 years. And then when it's finally time to apply for ILR, you clear up your savings in your accounts, apply for ILR, and then you get a decision from Home Office saying it has been refused. In that situation, what do you do? How do you wrap your head around that kind of situation?
Not joking, all my guys, them know me.
Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa, and if you're new on this channel, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell so that whenever I post, you will be the very first to find out. Not the second, not the third, not the fourth, not even the fifth person, but number one, the first person to see my video. How amazing is that? In today's video, I'm going to be answering some of your questions in my last 3 content of the last, I can't remember. These days I just shoot video and edit when I want, but the video where I talked about our ILR application, some of you left questions in the comment section, and I promise you guys that I'm going to answer them. So I'm here because I keep to my words always. Sometimes I default shy, I know, but most of the times I love to keep to my words. You guys already know what ILRO means. I defined it in the content I was referring to. I talked about ILRO, and today we're going to be talking about ILRO refusal. Like, what could make you get that big no from Home Office? Like, what could actually lead to that? Some people don't know. There are lots of people that are so ignorant about it, and they're just doing what they like, living their life. But trust me, there is always that day of reckoning, and that big day is either you get a yes or a no. Just like when we all pass on, and it's either we'll go to heaven or go to a fire, judgment day. So there will always be that very big day, and trust me, you want to get a yes. Getting a no is very devastating. Though it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. You can always appeal. You can always reapply. But you all know the funds. Like, guys, it's a lot of money. I told you guys, we spent £7,770 applying for the 2 of us, even though we use the super priority. But if you choose not to use the super priority, like if you choose to go for standard, it's $2,885. Guys, that's a lot of money. How many people actually have $2,885 in their account balance? Do you have it in your account? It's a lot of money. We can't afford to lose it, but it's a money that is worth spending. We want to get a positive result at the end of the day. Some of us are 1 year in the UK, 2 years in the UK, and we are making some mistakes that might cost us our ILRO. Trust me, you don't want that. So number one reason why you are most likely going to get a big no from Home Office is if you've lived in the UK unlawfully. So guys, know that. Another main reason why you will get a big no is if you live outside the UK for more than 180 days in a 1 year period. Let's say from January to December. I'm giving an instance. You leave the UK in January and you come back in July. For instance, in that 1 year, you've lived in the UK for literally 6 months, 180 days outside. Believe me, you're not going to get ILRO. So if you want to travel, make sure you keep all your travel details. Very important. Your boarding tickets, everything. If you're decided to always travel, yeah, you can travel. You're not tied to the UK, but travel and come back. Like, don't just go out and stay for a long time. Even if you get this ILR, you still cannot live outside the UK for more than 2 years. It becomes invalid. So you see, until we get that British passport, we need to be very conscious of our traveling. Very important. Another reason why you will not get it is if you fail the life in UK test. In the video I talked about ILR, I left the link pinned in my comment section. Don't worry your head about. I said I prepared for my ILR in 3 days. I'm not kidding. And that 3 days I was working, doing my 9 to 5. That was in the period I was in the office for 4 weeks. So I was very busy, very busy. So it just in the evening when I'm home, I'll just open my phone and be answering the questions. I didn't have to buy books. When I hear people say they bought books, they watched YouTube videos, they did this, I'm like, for this same life in UK test that I went to write, that you're buying books and reading websites and reading, and I'm like, it's not that serious. So in the link that I attached, if you want me to attach it, I'll also attach it in this video. They have different sections. Look for the one that has 1 to 16. Revise it. Revise. Cram. Like I crammed. Like I did a lot of cramming. And there are so many days, so many dates. In fact, there was a time I would even use my husband's month to remember something. I'll say, okay, this person lives in Wales. Your name is St. Charles. This person lives, my friend that lives in Northern Ireland, I'll give that one St. Andrew. The person that lives in, like, that's how I was doing a lot of cramming, like, because I mean, I was sometimes supposed to take my time to prepare for. I used to be days to prepare for it. So I was, even up to that very morning, I was still like cramming. I had a lot of cramming to do, Sha. So it's doable. It is very doable. Trust me, you don't need to, all those people that tell you have to do this, do that, you don't really need to worry your head about it. And I want to state that for the Life in UK test, if you are between the age of 18 to 65 years, you must write and pass your Life in UK test, both you and your dependents. As long as you're between 18 to 65, you have to write and pass it. Another reason is if you fail to pass your English test. For me, you guys were asking me about the English test. I wrote the B1 test with Trinity College, London. So I wrote my exam in Leeds. It was like a 15-minute exam. It was so easy, just the way I'm talking to you now. It's like a Zoom kind of test. You go to the venue, you won't do it to your house. It's Zoom, but you still have to go to the venue, funny enough. So you'll be in a room, you'll be seated on the chair just where I'm seated, and there's a table in front of you, and then the examiner comes up and asks you, oh, what's your name? And you just tell the person your name, and before then you have to plan the topic you want to talk about. So me, I talked about being a support worker, because you can wake me up tomorrow morning and I'll tell you about it. So my topic was my job, and then under your job you talk about different things like, okay, benefits of your job, why you like your job, that kind of a thing. So it's so simple, and it's 15 minutes. So just do, I'm talking to my camera now, me and the lady were just having a chat. It's not even official. They don't make it look like, okay, what is this, what is that? No, it's just like a chat. Oh, do you like your job? So what do you like about your job? And then you start talking. You just be talking like as if you're talking. I'm like, oh, okay, nice. Do you drive to work then? And then you can be like, oh yes, I drive to work, but sometimes I prefer to walk. They just want to know if you speak English. I'm telling you fact, like that's nothing serious, just conversation. And the examiner will be like, oh yeah, myself, I work from home, so I'm not bothered about driving or working because I'm always in the house working. But other than that, I love to walk. I love to walk to the stores. I love to, she was just talking, and that just is like nothing serious at all. So I did with Trinity College London. In case you want to, I highly recommend them. I know they have Pearson Academy. They have so many, but because a friend used Trinity College London, I'm like, I beg, let me just follow no road. So you may want to follow me now that no road. I want to say that if you're the main applicant and you've probably written IELTS, you do not need to write this particular test, not at all. So don't think this English test is like IELTS. It's nothing close to IELTS. I've written IELTS 2 times, and trust me, it's nothing close to speaking. IELTS speaking, that one is even more professional. Like you speak all the English in your brain. This one is just nothing. I hope that encourages you. Another reason is non-compliance with immigration rules, like the Tier 2 rules. Number 1 rule, which we all know, everybody knows, public funds. No access to public funds. You see that public fund, they better don't mess about with it. It's their money, and UK. Aradites. They don't joke with your money. So if it's stated on your BRP, no access to public funds, see, run away. You see council house, because I remember when I came to this country, my colleague was telling me about our house. It was so affordable. Then we're living like in the 2-bedroom, and we're paying, I think, about 500 or something, bills inclusive, and that was when things were good. Now it's so terrible. She was telling me that no, our house is really affordable. I can't remember how much she said she was paying for a 4-bedroom. And she was like, it's council house that I can apply. I should just try this, first come, first serve. If you're homeless, they won't give you an edge. It will give you an edge. She was pushing him. Then I didn't even know. When I mentioned it to my husband, I was like, don't try it. It's public fund. So some persons might not even know. So make sure that you stick to the rules. UK and their immigration laws, they do not play with it. So if you touch their money in their public funds, let's say you go and collect child benefits when you're not entitled to it, problem. I want to state that free school meals is not public fund, so your child can actually have free school meals. Because somebody was asking me in the comment section, yeah, trust me, your child can have school meals. Yeah, after all, your child attends school for free. Yeah, another reason is character and criminal record. If like the ladies that I talked about, the four Nigerians in my last video, the 4 Nigerians that have been sentenced, they're most likely not going to get ILR, unfortunately. So in all that you do, make sure to keep a clean record. In my next video, I'm going to talk about everything, all the documents that we had to submit, because it's going to be too long if I attach it to this video. So like for me, I had to attach letter and the email that I got about my driving offense. You guys know that I got a letter of prosecution from UK police because on the 30 miles per hour road, I was driving 39.6, I mean 39.8. Unfortunately, I was blowing. I forgot myself. I was enjoying myself on the road and I just drove on 39 point something and camera captured me and I got a letter of prosecution. But luckily I didn't get any points. I was given the speed awareness course. I paid maybe like 80 something or 90 something for it or thereabouts. So I did the course and I'm free now. So I attached the letter of prosecution. I also attached the email I got confirming that I have done the speed awareness course and I am free. Now, the most dicey part. Somebody asked me that I should elaborate because she has not been working for the employer that brought her to the UK because they've not been giving her shift. And as a matter of fact, she just works once in a while if it will affect her ILR. You know, this whole situation is pretty much new. This coming to the UK, your employer is not giving you shift. It is very new, very new. It wasn't like this before at all. So there's nobody that I know that's been in that situation and applied for ILR and got it, or applied for ILR and got rejected. Because normally if they bring you from abroad to the UK, you have to work. There is work for you. That's why they bring you. Unfortunately, the system has been abused and this is where we are. But I want to state that one thing my husband attached was his pay slip. That's his most recent pay slip and most recent bank statements. And that statement must show your salary. Do you understand? So let's say you receive salary in November. The bank statements must show the salary that I earned for that month. Now, another thing my husband submitted is every single employer that he has worked with, he got a letter from them stating salary my husband earned while he was with them, my husband's start and end date. You know, the employer will also attach code of reference number, like whether the job is on shortage occupation list. So, and that's what gets me thinking. Now, your employer is not giving you shifts, let's say for like 1 year, 2 years, right? That is your major employer. Do you understand? And let's say you're now fortunate enough to get a job on your 3rd year and the person is giving you regular shifts. Now, for that first 2 years, you've not really been paying sufficient tax because your employer must state the amount that you've earned while with them. Then these are the things that they are going to prove. They're going to check, okay, if it's stated that you earn 24,000 in 2022, they will check your tax and NI. How much have you paid? And then they check your NI. And you've not really paid because, I mean, when you're not working, how do you pay? And you've not really paid, or let's say you paid, but with a different employer. That's where I was coming from. I was like, I got very, 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 very worried when we applied for ILR. Like, I was thinking about a lot of people and I was deeply concerned and deeply worried, especially about this particular factor. Or let's say you're just with that employer for 5 whole years and no shift, you've not even worked for them, or you work for them, let's say you've worked a total of 20 shifts to them for 5 whole years. During your ILR application, it will choke now. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Because your employer must declare how much they've paid you, your salary, and with your salary, that they can easily check your tax information. So it's crazy. Like I said, it's news. I don't know anybody that's applied and got it, or anybody that's applied and got rejected, and I do not want to discourage anybody at all, but it's just I got to this point and it got me thinking a whole lot. Like, how can people maneuver this particular situation? Because I was even asking my husband, how can someone work around this particular situation, and like, oh my god, it doesn't even know. I don't know. I really do not know, but that's what I meant when I said in that video that if you're with your employer and you've not really been working, it's a red flag. Do you understand? That was what I meant, because it's really crazy. It's crazy, even though it's not even your fault, but it's just really crazy. And I hope that people watching this video that I'm planning on paying and coming will have a thing, because don't just be like, oh, ILR, once it's 5 years I'm gonna get my ILR straight away. Nah, it's not, doesn't work like that at all. And another main reason too is if you're evading tax. So guys, make sure you do not evade tax. Make sure you pay your tax, make sure you pay your NI, because like I said, the UK, they don't joke with their money. Absolutely not, they don't. So these are the few reasons why your ILR may be denied. And if you know more, please share in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to read your comment. In my next video, like I mentioned, I'm going to talk about all the documents that we used, or all the documents that we submitted, both myself and my husband. So stick around for that video. Thank you guys for watching, and of course I will see you all. Bye guys.